All right, we've made it to the final day, final training day before the meet, December 6th. Today being November 30th. I'm about to start do my final workout before the meet, or at least my final powerlifting workout, I should say. I'm gonna squat, I'm gonna bench and deadlift. I'll probably squat and deadlift first and then bench, just for the sake of like having a platform, even though that's not necessarily the order I'll be doing it at the meet. But I figure if anything, it's only making it harder on myself to squat and deadlift in that order anyways, so I don't really mind going out of order. So yeah, the plan I think for today is to work up to as close to my opener as possible, if not get to my openers. I'm gonna kind of go based more on feel. I'd say as of right now, working all the way up to my openers feels a little bit heavy. Just because, today is Sunday and I did a max effort squat on Thursday. So just 2 days of recovery in between. Like, I just don't know what I'm gonna feel like. I feel okay now, but you never know if my knee is gonna be a little tender or my hips, my hips honestly do feel a little sore. So we're gonna see. But as of right now, my planned openers, or I guess I should say semi-planned, I haven't really sat down and like totally thought about it. I don't even know like what the weights are because it's gonna be in kilograms, but pretending that this is all in pounds, I would say that my planned openers are a squat at between 400 and 410, depending on how the kilograms align. Actually, I think it's gonna be closer to between 410 and 420. So with that being said, today I'm like almost certainly not gonna work up to my opener. I'll probably work up to like 365 at most. I don't think I'm gonna get under the bar and really feel like getting under 405, but we'll see. So that's squat. And then I'm hoping that by my second attempt, I'm hoping to go, bounce up to like 450-ish. Oh, it's got really sunny out. That's beautiful. And then we'll see from there. After that, I don't know. I'm just gonna rewatch the reps, see how fast it went, and then decide and, potentially go up to like 470 or so. And then for bench, which will be next, I think the opener will be around 340 to 350, depending on how it's feeling that day. You just never know, I know what it would be if I was doing a powerlifting meet at my gym, knowing exactly how the bars feel and how the weight is feeling and everything, but you never know. Sometimes a bar feels weird. Sometimes the bench height is different. Like, there are these weird things that kind of throw you off. So I think somewhere between 340 and 350 will work well. And then probably jump up to about 370. And then I think from there, hoping that it goes well and I can get to like around 380. I don't think I'll get much higher than that. So, but again, we'll see. And then as far as deadlift goes, I think deadlift will be a little bit more variable based on how squat and bench goes. So ultimately, my overarching goal for the meet is to get a minimum of 1400, which should be relatively attainable, assuming that, my depth and everything is good on squat. And I'm feeling all right. So, I think I'll look to see how squat and bench went first before I would decide on what my deadlift opener is. But generally speaking, it's going to be somewhere probably between 570 and 600 pounds. But for example, if on squat and bench, I get, let's say everything goes great and I get 470 on squat and I get 380 on bench. Like I feel like those are the upper limits for both of those movements. So if I were to do that, 470 plus 380, that's 850. So in order to reach that 1400 total, if I'm already at 850, all I would need to do is deadlift 550 pounds. So if that was the case, let me think about this. So if that was the case, my opener is kind of like free. Like I can do whatever I want. So in that case, I would probably do an opener of about 580, which is probably 580. Yeah, I think it would be somewhere around 580, which is near the top end, because that would put me at a 1430 total. And then from there, I'll be able to deadlift whatever I want and, try to get a PR, try to work up to about 630 or something. But if, for example, this is not, knock on wood, this is not what we want. Let's say my third set, I didn't go down to depth in squat. And then bench, I failed my third attempt. And so my totals were, let's say I got 445 on bench or on squat. But then I got 360 on bench. So now I'm at 805. And in order to get to 1400, I would need 95 plus 500? I would need 595. So if that was the case, I don't think, if that was the case, I might reserve getting to 1400 for my second attempt, just because I don't want to go ultra heavy on the first attempt. I would rather, instead of doing 595 on that first attempt, I might want to do like 570 or 560. I don't know. I'd have to think about this. As I'm saying it out loud, I'm glad I'm doing this because I need to do the exercise anyways. As I'm saying this out loud, I think that I'll probably just do whatever will get me to the 1400 mark, as long as I'm close enough that it's like at least going to be under 600. If I have to do for some reason I needed to get like 610 in order to reach 1400, I don't think I would make that my opener. But as long as the total I need to do is between, let's say 570 and 600, I think I'll just do whatever number I need to do in order to get over 1400. But again, if it's something like 550 or 540 to get that 1400 total, then I'll just start higher and, whatever. I'll just start higher. So yeah. So with that being said, for today's training session, working up to almost an opener for squat, just because, I just squatted on Thursday. So like, who knows how I'm going to feel. And then on deadlift, I think I'll feel a little bit better. I'm not going to work up to an opener, like in that 580 range. I think I'm going to get to at least 495, and I'm going to see how that feels. And I think at most I'll get up to is about 545. Yeah, just because, again, squatted Thursday, which, sometimes my legs aren't sore, so sometimes that I feel like it doesn't impact deadlift that much, but my core is pretty wiped out. There's just a lot of systematic fatigue at this point. And then for bench, I'll see. I benched on Friday actually, so even more recent than squat, but I'm generally less concerned about recovering for bench. But with that being said, on Friday when I was benching, my left shoulder was feeling a little bit wonky. So I'd say there's a chance I don't bench at all. I'm going to start warming up for it. But if it feels the way it did on Friday, I'll probably just hold off. And then I'll have a light bench session on Monday or Tuesday and just work up to like 3 plates. So like work up to like 90% of my opener. And that's the plan. And then we're chilling. And then the rest of the week, I might do an arm workout, a back workout, something like that, but no more squatting, no more deadlifting. Hopefully no more benching. And then we're just getting to the meet. I have to weigh in on Friday. This morning I woke up at, I think 201 even, or maybe even slightly under 201. I woke up at 200.8. And I weighed in at like, I think that was at 9, roughly 9 in the morning at 200.8 pounds. And so on Friday, I need to weigh in at 198. So that is 3 pounds that I need to lose by Friday. Which shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'll do some cardio. And then the day before, Thursday, I will probably not eat for like the first half of the day. And I'll continuously track my weight. I'll try to drink water like normal. But not eat for like the first half of the day. See where I'm at, eat towards the end of the day based on how my weight's looking, just for the sake of like, I think it's easier to just not eat in the beginning of the day and then eat towards the end of the day so that I'll be able to sleep, because sleeping on an empty stomach is just brutal. But if I have some coffee and like I'm just working, I can do that on an empty stomach. And then yeah, wake up, cut off my water probably at like a reasonably early time on Thursday, 7 o'clock or something. And then hopefully Friday just wake up on weight without having to do anything, without having to go to a sauna or like do cardio or something. And then I got to drive out to the suburbs, weigh in, and then I'll just start eating from there. I don't think I need to like gorge myself, but it'd probably be ideal to like wake up back at like 200 pounds on Saturday, something like that. Whatever. I'm not gonna like intentionally go crazy with food. I think I should basically barely have to limit food on Thursday. I think it's gonna be more about cutting carbs and shedding some water weight and shedding some bloat. Cause I just, in putting on all this weight, I just feel like kind of bloated all the time. So I think there's a lot of water weight to be lost. But yeah, I've been feeling good. No injuries, thank God. That back injury that happened like a month ago was a little bit of a scare, but luckily that was the only scare we had, and I rested for a couple weeks. Was a little conservative for maybe another couple weeks after that, but shit, I mean, luckily when it happened, I still had like 5-6 weeks to go. And then by the time I recovered, I still had like another 3 or 4 weeks. So I was able to get back on track and still feel some heavy weight. I was a little nervous there for a while, but shit worked out. Really worked out. And then after the meet, I think the plan will be to just relax for a bit, let my body recover, not push it, get back to jiu-jitsu a little bit, and then start planning for next year. I definitely want to do another meet next year. In the first half of the year, thinking like May, June, something like that. But nothing on the books yet. We got to get through this one first. You don't want to look ahead. Stay focused, stay locked in for this meet. I think that's about all I have for this update. Been watching a lot of Dragon Ball Z for this meet. I'm simultaneously reading the manga and watching the anime. Right now I'm in the Cell saga of the manga. Like the first form Cell just appeared and now he's on the hunt for the androids 17 and 18. And then in the anime I just got past the Ginyu Force. So like Goku just got his body back and is now in the healing chamber, and Frieza is on his way back and he's about to go apeshit. So that has been really cool. It's kind of making me want to watch Dragon Ball again, but I don't know where I can watch that, because Dragon Ball Z is on Disney Plus, But Dragon Ball is not. I'm not about to get like Crunchyroll, so I guess we'll have to wait. That's it. That's it for the updates. I'm gonna lift in my Dragon Ball shirt just for, you know, the sake of aura. I think it's gonna help. We'll see though. The lifts are coming up, so we'll see.